Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to have a lesson in the English language because so many people right now have forgotten this or either have never learned it. So here we go, let's dive right in. There is no difference between the words love letter and letters of love. The difference between these two phrases is not in their meaning. They mean exactly the same thing. The first phrase, love letter, is a noun, which is the letter, modified by an adjective. And the second phrase is a noun, the same noun, modified by the same adjective using a prepositional phrase. So it's the same noun modified by the same adjective, and both of these phrases mean exactly the same thing. They're grammatically identical. What's the difference between the word snake house and house of snakes? The first one is a noun, which is the house, modified by an adjective. The second one is a noun, the house, modified by an adjective that's included in a prepositional phrase. They mean exactly the same thing. They function exactly the same way. There is no difference between these two phrases. The same as our first example. There is no difference between the phrase colored people and people of color. The first one is a noun modified by an adjective. The second one is the same noun modified by the same adjective that's included in a prepositional phrase. These two phrases mean exactly the same thing. The difference between them that everybody is jumping up and down about is that one of these phrases was in vogue during a particular period of history. And the second one was in vogue during a completely different period of history. They both mean the same thing. So if you're defending one of them and condemning the other, and saying one of them's just fine and one of them's very sensitive and considerate and polite, and the other is a sign that the person using it is a monster, what you're actually defending is a fad. And we all know what happens to fads. They come to an end. They only last a short time. And then some other phrase comes along and the newer version of the fad goes out of favor and everybody starts condemning that one as well. And we're already seeing this where people are saying people of color is rude and racist as well. And the new in vogue term for black people is urban people, which is the stupidest euphemism ever invented. Because there are plenty of urban people who are white, Latino, Middle Eastern, and Asian. Urban means you live in a city. It doesn't mean you're black. That is the stupidest euphemism that there is. And as we all know, most, pretty all of modern African Americans have white blood somewhere in their ancestry. That's why they're so much lighter than Africans. And most of them also have other races as well, like Latinos and indigenous ancestry. It's ridiculous to use these stupid phrases that mean nothing. Just call them what they are. Condemning someone for using the words colored people is the stupidest, shallowest, most meaningful fad that has ever existed. You're defending something that is completely meaningless. And in another 10 years, that phrase will be just as condemned. And it could be you that accidentally slips up and says the thing that you were socialized and conditioned and trained to use, and everybody's going to be jumping up and down and calling you a racist and trying to strip you of your livelihood. Learn the English language. A noun and an adjective together mean exactly the same thing, regardless of which order they come in. The meaning of the phrase has not changed. The only difference in meaning that you're assigning to it is completely dependent on the historical context that it's found in. And that makes it a fad. It has nothing to do with the words. It's nothing to do with what the person meant. It's you're signaling that you think you're holier than everyone because you're following the trend that just happens to be in vogue right now. And it doesn't make you holier. And it doesn't demonize the other person at all. So I hope this video helped somebody. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.